Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Welcome to the Financial Independence Coach, naturally creating freedom, meaning, and wealth. Brought to you by Yvonne Ltd, in association with Brandlive.co.za. And here is your host and coach, Yvonne Venter-louw.
Good morning, Brand Live streamers and Yvonne Ltd subscribers. Yes, it's Monday morning and you tuned into the Financial Independence Coach. Recorded here live at 27 Boxes with Brands Live. Now, this morning I have a special treat. I am feeling so honored that I have in studio the Mrs Africa Glamour 2018, Reshane Viljoen. Good morning, Reshane. How are you doing?
I'm great, and you?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. It's Monday and I'm on the show, so I'm smiling.
I'm glad.
Reshane, now, being a Mrs. Glamour for the whole Africa continent, the title alone makes me tired. First of all, tell us who you are, where you're from.
Okay, my name is Reshane Viljoen. I'm a mother of two boys. The one is 16 and the other one is 12. I'm married, and I've got numerous businesses like Businesswomen Network Alliance, where it's a lot of businesswomen coming together, connect where we empower them, where we coach them. And then besides being Mrs Africa Glamour, and I need to do a lot of events per month for exposure for them, for the brand as well. We do a lot of charity events as well, supporting Cancer Relay for Life that I'm ambassador from. And then where everything started was about when I turned 40, and I decided it's going to be my fearless journey.
Okay.
And everything just happened from there. I was a housewife for 16 years, and then I started painting again, and I won 2 big competitions. Some of my artworks are in London, displayed there, and a few art galleries here in Centurion, Pretoria. And then from there on, I just noticed, listen, there's such a huge gap in the market for new to small business owners because they don't have any support system.
Yes, there's you find that a lot of them just struggle through everything because there's nobody to turn to.
It's a one-man show. And they don't know how to do time management because you have to do everything yourself. So that's where we came into play, and that's where I started Businesswomen Network Alliance. Besides that, a bit of background still, I came from the Vaal. My little one used to say, "Mommy, why am I born in the failed Transvaal?" And then I told her, "No, shame." So I was born in Transvaal, and I'm the eldest of 2 daughters. I've got a beautiful sister. She's an accountant as well. I think between us, she's more the model-like because she's tall and also blonde and beautiful, but pageantry isn't her thing. So yes, my mother and father were both business people. My mother is an interior designer. My father is engineering. And I just grew up, between all the business things that they needed to cope with on a daily basis. And I think it helped a lot when I started my business because I had something to fall back on.
Yeah, you had that experience that you learned from them.
Yes. So, yes, and that's a little bit about me. I'm situated in Pretoria at the moment, and I love it there. The climate is great. We live in Montana, and it's very tropical there. So between Centurion, that's very much colder than Montana, we really love living there.
Oh, fantastic. And you say art and art pieces.
Yes.
So you're an artist by nature.
I've studied fashion design. I'm a fashion designer by profession, and I love designing. I love painting in oil, just a lot of color. love color. I can't work in a day like today where it's all gray, and London didn't work out for me as well because it's very gray and dull. So I need color around me, and I think I display it in my artwork as well. It's a lot of color and texture and new type of techniques that I use, and I think that made me different, from the other artists, and made me like a winner.
Yeah, that made you unique.
Yes, unique. Yes.
Now, with your all your business experience and the fashion design, how did that all contribute to actually getting involved with the Africa Glamour pageant?
My friend is also a fashion designer, and one thing that I noted when I started doing professional networking is there's a lot of competition, especially amongst women. And here in South Africa, it's funny because, I know it's a big continent as well, but in Africa, but we don't need to be competition. So I met Vanessa. She's also a fashion designer, and she designed a few dresses for some of the contestants, the finalists of Mrs Africa. And then when we started doing business together and she became my partner, she just said, listen, Reshane, I see something in you. Go and compete. It's going to give you exposure, and it's going to put you on a different platform than most of the other people that have networking, that do networking events. And so, it was my very first pageant. And to be honest, I don't think I'm a pageant girl, although I look the part. And I can play the part. But for me, it was more about what difference am I going to make with the title. So I'm not going to enter another pageant.
So it was a one-time deal.
It was a one-time
Got
deal.
It, done it.
Yes, it was a one-time deal. And I met so many influential people along the way, and so many doors opened for me. Like, for instance, we started our own online radio station. So I had some experience in that, and just a lot of things, being my fearless journey. I just took on so many opportunities, and I started to be a yes person, and stop saying no to all the opportunities that came my way. And luckily for me, my kids are grown up now, so I don't need to be so involved.
You don't have to be the mommy at home anymore.
True.
You can now
Yes.
continue your journey
True.
moving forward.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. And just your title that you give it, your fearless journey, it's such a nice ring to it. Taking that step,
Yes.
taking that risk, moving forward.
True. And I've accomplished that with Vanessa as well. Just to have our own online radio show, it's like I think maybe you can associate with me. It's very nerve-wracking when you have that first show and you can't use certain words, you can't use ums and ahs too many. And it was like a real experience, a real journey that we had to go through, and just, face your fears. And Vanessa came to me, one of my very best friend and also my business partner, and she said, listen, Reshane, we need to move away now from fearless journey because we actually tackled so much of our fears. There's not much left. So what are our topic or our life motto going to be for 2019? And we just said next year it's going to be walking with giants. So we had our fearless journey. Now it's moving up a bit, and working with people that's going to make a real difference in your life, like real life mentors, people that's not keeping you down, and that you can stay on a platform. You want to grow.
That stay in that comfort zone.
True.
Now you've accomplished these fearless journeys. You've now accomplished these big stepping stones.
Yes.
Now is not a time to get comfortable in the zone.
True. Yeah. Now
Move
it's time to grow a bit, and we're going to walk with giants. And so we're busy launching our very first international brand, Boss Babe Online, where we're going to involve so many affiliates for business women, especially new and small business owners, to help accomplish their dreams. I've posted something on my website. What is your 3 main concerns in business? And the 3 main things here in South Africa is finance, having a database, discovering a new database to do business with. And the third thing is marketing. So we're going to tackle all three of them.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
And this is now to bring that resources to the entrepreneurial
True.
market, to the female entrepreneurial
Yes.
market.
Yeah, I think the females have grown so much over the years, especially as entrepreneurs, that we're busy taking over the market. But still, we're seen as inferior. You don't get paid, and we don't have the confidence to ask for what we are worth. So that's what I want to coach the women. Ask for what you're worth and then add tax.
Oh, no, definitely. Add tax and profit.
True.
Don't forget the profit. You need to add the profit.
Yes.
Yeah, I find it a lot with the coaches that I work with. The difference between men and women. Men are, they basically with this born inherit, everything must come their way.
True.
They are the man. They fill the spot.
Yes.
But with a lot of women, and you find that they are, but I did this because of others that supported me.
Yes.
They always
Almost like excuse.
yeah,
They
almost
find
like an
excuses.
excuse, always standing back, trying to give others credit for what they have achieved.
True.
Instead of saying,
Owning it.
for lack of a better word, manning up and say,
Yes.
I've done it.
Yes.
This is where I've come.
True.
And moving forward with that.
I've posted something on Business Women Network Alliance this morning. It's my Facebook page where it says, tell your story. I think a lot of us as women have a story to tell, and you never know who it's going to inspire. It's going to be like a life manual for them to live by. So tell your story and be proud of it.
True. I mean, most of the guests that we had on so far, each of them have their own life story from where they've come from, the difficulties that they've walked through, male and female.
Yes.
And it's interpreting that story to I would almost say the masses out there.
True.
That is what is inspiring about them.
Yes.
Whether it is international gurus like Dr. DeMartini or whether it's Reshane Harris that comes
Yes.
from a very abusive background, but has built herself up to being, I believe she's won the Margaret Hirsch's
Yes.
award this year.
She did. Yeah. She's very good, and she's also one of my very close friends and a huge inspiration.
Oh, she definitely is. But more on that after the break. See you on the flip side.
Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.beastownmedia.co.za.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za.
And we're back. You're listening to the Financial Independence Coach, recorded here live at 27 Boxes by Brand Live in association with Yvonne Pty Ltd. And we are chatting with Reshane, and we were talking about businesswomen, in particular Reshane Harris, that's now won one of the Hirsch's Women of the Year Business Awards. And during the ad break, we spoke about the smaller SMEs, the real small ones that's not on the international level, that there is no support for them.
No, there isn't. It's very difficult just to get finance for your business if your business is not a certain, I think, over 2 years, because you need to actually show the banks that you can make money for them, because what is their main purpose? It's to make
make
money.
money.
Yes. So they won't borrow you any money or lend you. It's very difficult. So yeah, to help these people, and I've met Martinus Broodryk, and I've been following him on social media. And one thing that I want to give a tip for businesswomen to maybe use today show is, one thing, we think we need a lot of mentorship to help us and to show us the way. But reading his books, one thing stood out for me. You don't need to go and approach a mentor in real life, because they don't have time to help you. So rather go on YouTube channels
And follow their channels
yes, because
and their
there's
videos.
so much information hiding behind that. And if it's in your industry, it can help you to grow your business. But coming back to the point where there's no real support for small business owners, that's where we come in. We want to help them with workshops, mentorship programs. There's a lot of people that retired that got so much time on their hands, and they've got this real knowledge that they want to.
Literally
Yes.
a wealth of knowledge that's in their back pocket,
Yes.
and they have nothing to do with
True.
it.
So we want to get some of them on board and let them feel useful. Why they leave them and let them retire and die with all the knowledge, if you can help them, help other business women or business people.
Like paying it forward.
True. Paying it forward. So we would like to get that in running now for the international Boss Babe online as well. So I think there's just a lot of things that you maybe can do that you don't need finance for. Margaret Hirsch, I had a show with her as well. And the one thing that she said is, start with the money you have.
Start with what you have
Yes.
and work from there
True.
out.
Because you're so used to, I can't do this, or I can't run a successful baking industry or business. But start from what you have. If you have a kitchen, start there. And
Start with that
branch
first
out.
packet of cake flour,
True.
baking powder, and bake your
Yes.
first batch of
Yeah.
cupcakes and send it
And
out into the world.
Yeah, maybe give a few free samples for bakeries. So they, what do you call, I'm very Afrikaans, tuisnywerry?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have no idea what a taste neighborhood is.
Yeah, and let them taste some of your samples. Take it to schools maybe. I know there's a lot of events they have, and they can make use of your service.
And even at schools,
True.
schools, you've got the tuck shops. Most of the
Yes.
schools have a tuck shop
Yes.
in the school
True.
property where they sell.
Yes. I think just brainstorm. There's so much things that you can do out of your house. You don't need an office, and you don't need business cards. I mean, there's so many digital things that you can, apps that you can add, like all your information, and you can just send it via WhatsApp or whatever. You don't need huge media boards along the way to broadcast your business or to give exposure to your business. But marketing is important. So what we used when I started out, I used Facebook a lot, and I had the opportunity to meet Leon Barnard. He's actually that blind singer Vernon. I can't remember his surname now. He's guitarist, and what he does, he's an Instagram guru. So he can grow your followers by, say, if you have like 500, he can grow it to more than 30,000 in one go.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so he's still very young. And so you need to look at things like that. There's like platforms that you can use, Instagram to grow your business, Facebook, and it's free. You only need data.
And all you need is that social media channel to
True.
navigate, guide people to a basic website, which,
Yes.
like a couple of shows ago, we had the expert from Bitrix here, where you can actually build your website out of Bitrix while controlling your entire workflow, so that people come to your online shop
Yes.
and run your business from there.
If you have online, I would suggest having a website. It's very important. You can't do it otherwise. And as I said, I think going online is the new way forward. A lot of businesses gone under. I know Daniel Miller were here a few weeks ago where he talked about everything online marketing. And I think it's the new way of going, but you need support. You need to read a lot and find out how to do it right.
Yeah, well, you can obviously make the mistakes yourself and learn from that experience, but
Yeah.
why do you want to waste that time
True.
if you can go and learn from
Yes.
those who has already done it?
True, that's already successful. And I said it's easy. You don't need to go and approach them directly. Go and search them online and see what videos they have made on YouTube and what maybe they have like a blog or something they wrote on a monthly basis, and you can just go through that and read a lot, and you can I think overcome a lot of obstacles that you could have made. Starting your own business.
Yeah, and what I find a lot with SMEs and with coaches is they not quite open to the experience of self-education. It's for me, it's not a shelf development. In other words,
Yes.
a bookshelf with all these
Yes.
self-help books.
No.
It must be a self-education, and whatever you get, read through it, absorb what it says, and use
Apply
what
it.
you want out of that and actually apply it.
True.
I can't remember exactly who said the quote. It's not knowledge that is the power, it's the applied knowledge
True.
where the power is.
I had actually a feud on Facebook with one of my friends where I said knowledge is power, and then she said no, applied knowledge is power. And funny enough, 77 is my lucky number. And on page 77 on Marnus Broodryksboek 90 Rules for Entrepreneurs, it stands applied knowledge is power. So yes, I think both options, you can't do anything if you don't have the knowledge, but you need to apply it to gain something. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, why they stop being an entrepreneur is because I think they don't realize how much work goes into being an entrepreneur. It's not a part-time thing.
No, it's definitely
a
not.
full-time thing. It's a lifestyle. And your family, I was like a housewife now for 16 years, and it was so difficult for my husband to acknowledge that I'm a woman in my own right and that I need to work very hard
to get where you want to go.
Exactly. And it's just not, you need to get up at 4 a.m. and you need to read books, do your post. You need to be very time management is crucial in being an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you're going to slay a day away and you're not going to make money. So I think the thing is, go and sit early in the morning, see what is going to bring in money, and have like a list of things that you need to do. Douglas Creer is also a very good example. I've bought one of his books. I just can't remember what the topic is, but you can go and Google Douglas Kruger.
Isn't it that one about the breaking the rules?
Yes, I think he's got like two very bestsellers, and the other thing is Do You Think in Keeping Your Poor or something like that, but I haven't read through that book yet. But in one of the pages in the book that I'm reading now of him, he's got like a list. You need to do so many posts, you need to do so many public events, you need to, especially if you're in public speaking and you want to get noticed and grow your public profile. How many blogs did you write? And you need to mark everything off.
Tick it off and make sure you've done it.
I was like flabbergasted when I started marking all those things off. I only marked off one, and it was like a 13 bullet points that you need to do. So I just realized, listen, I need to get myself, prioritized, and I need, if I look back in a week's time, I need to mark all those things off and things that's really going to make you money.
And it's combining Parkinson's law, controlling your time, what you do with your time,
Yes.
and from Brian Tracy's side, eating the frog, what is the highest priority and doing that first?
True.
Yes. Putting those two together takes very careful planning.
Yes.
Putting it together and actually then have the discipline to follow it through.
True.
And to make it work for you.
Yes. Yeah, just realize, as I said previous, apply everything and you need to follow it strictly. And they say for entrepreneurship to be a successful entrepreneur, it takes you 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be very proactive. And everything that you do per day, you need to follow it up for 3 years straight on. That's why Martin's Birthright is so successful. I mean, he's now busy. When he turned 30, he made his first $30 million rand, and now he's busy with his first international business, $1 billion business. So I think those are the examples we need to follow, and I think people need. If you don't have support, you need to have your family needs to support you, and to follow your dreams and to make things happen. Because if you don't have their support, you're not going to make it as well.
Exactly. You need that foundation to
Yes.
build up from.
Yes.
And if the foundation is laid correctly, you can build skyscrapers on it.
True, because you have that support.
Then not even the sky is the limit, and you can move
Yes.
forward internationally.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think we put a lot of stop signs in our own brain. I had the privilege to meet Max Kahn as well, and I bought one of his meditation tapes on self-confidence.
Yes, yes.
And it was very interesting because as a Christian, you know there is a lot of stuff that we don't need to do, like meditation. But I think we need to get that thing out of our head, try it and see if it's going to work for you. I did it, and it really did work for me. Every time you think back, when was the best time in your life, when you had the most self-confidence, and you press like your
fingers and then
together.
Yeah, that
yes,
little,
that feeling
that
comes
little
over.
twerk
Yes.
technique, and it
Yeah.
works wonders.
Yes, and I think it keeps you calm. It keeps your mind not that obstruct with daily things, that coming obstacles that's coming your way, and
The
just
daily
keep your
fluff.
focus. Yes, the daily fluff, and just keep your focus. So yeah, I found it very useful. That's the first thing I'm doing in the morning, is having my 30 seconds or 30 minutes just for myself, and just relax, clear my mind. And when you're done with that, you can actually feel that you can focus. The focus is there.
Yes, yes. I mean, while I'm doing now my thesis, part of what I've included in my thesis is the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Gnostic Gospels. And when you compare that from a Christian's point of view, not talking religion now,
Yes, yes.
but when you compare that, what is said in those Gospels with regards to what prayer is supposed to be, prayer is supposed to be a meditation. I mean, it's not a fountain flow of words, it's actually supposed to be a prayer, meditation.
True.
If you go and look at Mother Teresa while she still lived, she was quoted by a reporter that asked her, how do you pray? And she said, well, I just go and sit in a church for an hour. And he asked her, but what do you pray? She says, well, I don't say anything. I listen. And if you compare that to what meditation actually is becoming still
Yes.
within yourself, within
True.
your spirit, and just listening.
Yes.
That is where prayer actually is supposed to be.
It's a beautiful story.
It is
actually
lovely.
gave me goosebumps.
I promise you, when I read it the first time, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, now I understand it a bit better. But if you look at a meditation from that point of view, becoming still,
Yes.
just becoming one and relax and
True.
listen.
Yes.
And then following from there. I mean, you can ask anyone in my family. I get up every morning at 3 a.m., between 3 and 4, and that first 2 hours of the day is mine. If you interrupt it, then you're in trouble. Because that is my time when I
Yes.
just review my day's planning, do my meditation, do my exercises, get myself orientated and ready for the day, and then move
Yes.
forward from there.
It's wonderful. I think a lot more people need to do it. Even if you're not a morning person, just get up that few minutes earlier.
And just get
Yeah.
that dedication
Yes,
for the day.
just for yourself. It's your time.
But Reshane, if anybody wants to get hold of you, where can they get hold of you?
Well, I've got like a Facebook page, Business Women Network Alliance. And then, on that page you can find everything. Otherwise, they can search me on my personal page, Reshane Viljoen. We've got a web page as well, but I think it will be listed on my Facebook page, where you can just click on it and you can go straight to my website. But we're in the process of rebranding, Boss Babe Online. So Businesswomen Network Alliance will change in February. We've got a new location, but we will announce it a bit later.
So that's all still hush-hush for
yes,
now.
that's a bit hush-hush. And yeah, and just a lot of things happening at once. I've landed my first international role that we're busy with shooting now. And yeah, just a lot of things.
Well, Reshane, there's lots more that we can talk about. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely bringing you in back next year.
Oh, thanks.
Before
great.
the relaunch, and then we can
Yes.
give some more hints to people.
Yeah.
But we will definitely talk about
Oh,
that.
thanks for inviting me.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure having you here. We think on the same level.
Yes.
Love it. But for all our listeners out there, you have been listening to the Financial Independence Coach, brought to you by brandslife.co.za in association with Yeffel Pty Ltd, recorded live here at 27 Boxes in Melville, and we will see you next week. So from me, Yvonne, I say shalom.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za